Ian is a weirdo. Orders to make. I mean, in the next couple days, I'll have a lot of orders to make. I just got one in. They're like, hey, can I get this in early if possible? And I really would like to accommodate that, but I want to finish things in the order that I got them. For some reason, like, everything goes through, like, seasons in, like, my orders, like, when I get a bunch of orders at once. And so sometimes it's, like, all one skin tone, or it's all one color. Right now, it's all trans stripe. Like, everybody wants trans stripe, which is the stripes are the most annoying to do, but I do them because there's just no trans variegated yarn that I can find. So, so this is my reality. If that were the case, I wouldn't have done stripes in the beginning, but, whatever. Okay, so, let's see. So this one is done, just needs to be sent out. Okay, so this one is 5 inches, light packing. Okay. So, I am on the white portion of this trans. You may have noticed that I changed the pink. So at first I bought the colors online because at that point my Michaels could accommodate that. Not my Michaels, my Joanne could accommodate that. But now my Joanne no longer does that. But when I was in store, because I was like, so the one that I got didn't really look like the color that they showed. It looked like like an appropriate light pink, but it was really like more coral. And so when I went in store, I saw this rose pink, and I was like, that's way better. But I've been waiting to use up all of the corally. I think it was called like coral rose or something like that. But either way, it just wasn't as pink as I would like. It worked for the time being, but like now I'm really trying to get the colors better. So from now on, the color is going to be this rose pink color. So this is a light packing in this packer, which I personally like to use for my like packers made for me, because it is just so much more. Oh, it's my dad's birthday. Ooh, I didn't do anything for my dad's birthday. Oops. We'll do that too. But if it depends on your anatomy and your comfort level, how big you want things to look. Everything is it is totally preference. So so I'm just gonna keep on going with the white. But I do find that with the light packer, I do like to include additional washing instructions. It's kind of like sending out any stuffy, but you don't pack it full enough, because that's what they want. But if they wash it, the packing's gonna kind of get stuck together. Hi, welcome in. Um, and clump a little bit, so they have to do a little bit more work not that much more, but just a little bit more work when it comes out of the washing machine or they hand wash it. They hand wash it, it's usually less bad, but I'd say that they can wash it on delicate. Okay, so this is a 5-inch lightly packed packer. So each stripe should be like a little less than 2 inches. So let's see that. Maybe do one more round on this white. So yeah, so a lot of people are wearing trans right now. Oh my gosh. Please. Hey, welcome in. I saw that you just subscribed. Welcome. I am making a packer. So, if you don't know what a packer is a prosthetic um, kind of bulge that trans men, people will wear under their clothes, and it just gives them like the appearance of a bulge. Some people want to go bigger with it. Some people want to go smaller with it. So I make it in adjustable sizes so that people can get a comfort level that they're feeling good about. Because I really like to focus my store on items for people to feel gender euphoria. Because it's an awesome feeling. I will tell you that. Are you a crafter? Are you making anything? So for this one, I'm going to cut it off. I still don't have any sniffies in here. I love your name, like cyber gothic aesthetics. Like, I'm not as much of a cyber goth now as I used to be, but it's definitely in that category for a while. Yeah, it's just like for me, it's something I can do that's helpful for me, which is crochet, and helpful for my community. Oh, you're a knitter, awesome. What are you making? Or are you making anything? Do you have anything on the needles? So I might be like, do you have anything on the hook? Because I'm just so used to the crochet terminology these days. But yeah, I have a friend from high school that I just got like reacquainted with, and she is the knitter, and so like we were trying to talk, and like some moments were just like I could tell like some verbiage um, wasn't going across the line. I'm working on a cardigan, uh, inspired by Wednesday and Ian's friendship. That is so cool. I have a split cardigan like that. I did one of like the kind of more traditional. Yeah. Ooh, I like the half black and white because I think a lot of people just go like half black, but I like the black and white because black and white is awesome. But yeah, I did a pride cardigan, and it was half rainbow and it was half trans color. But it was like using a granny stitch, which is what everybody's doing these days. Um, but yeah, I love that. I think that'll be awesome. Um, Not to rush you because I know you're new here, but I do have a Facebook page for people that like to hang out and talk about what they're making. It's called Army of Weirdos. It's on Facebook if you're on Facebook. There's a couple other Army of Weirdos, but we're the one with the green pillow that says fuck. So if you see like a green rectangular pillow, that's us. Um, and that would be awesome to show off because I think a lot of people would be very intrigued by what you're doing. And we are very crochet heavy, but we also talk about yarn, um, tricks on like, color changing and, scheme changing. Um, so if you want to join, feel free because I would love to see that. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay. Yeah, let me see. I think I have a picture of it in my Etsy. Do do do. I woke up like pretty late for me lately. Um, so it's almost 9 o'clock, which is pretty late. for me. Let's see. Here is the listing, just so you can see what it looks like. I did all like the self-striping myself with the rainbow side. I could have just done a rainbow yarn, but I wanted to. Okay, that's fine. No worries. I know a lot of people aren't these days, so. But this is what my cardigan looks like. I made it intentionally oversized because I just wanted something like big and comfy. I wore it during Pride, which is in June, here in North Carolina, and which in the States it's usually during June. And oh my gosh, it's made of acrylic yarn and I was sweating. Like, even like everything I wore, it was just like I was just dripping sweat. But I was like, I have to look good. That's first priority. Yeah, it was really fun, and it was a really easy stitch to kind of get in the groove of. Um, did I make mistakes along the way? Absolutely. But it was really fun. I liked it. I don't think that I would ever like willingly make myself. I don't know. I don't make a lot of wearables. They're just, I mean, they're so finicky with like sizing and things like that that I try to avoid them. But I'm so interested in knit. Like, I loved knitting. So a little bit about me, um, is I started by knitting and kind of knit off and on for like 10 years, maybe, a little less, maybe. And then I was in a treatment center for my mental health, and this older woman was in there, and she was lovely. She was so sweet. Um, and she she was like, I had my couple things of yarn, and like, um, uh, she she was like, oh, I didn't used to knit, but I used to crochet, and I wish I could do it again. And I was like, at the time, like, I had a job, so it was like easier to be like, I'll just get this. But I was like, why don't we just like learn how to crochet together? So I got this like cheap crochet kit off of Amazon. It was shipped directly to us, and we learned how to crochet together. And I've kind of been crocheting, make one in cotton yarn for the summertime. Absolutely, absolutely. My problem with the cotton yarn is like the color variations and the color options. I find are quite limited, unless I get it hand dyed, which I can't really afford. So I'm balling on a budget right now, um, and I just like yeah. I So I would have to do a lot of my own like self-striping, which isn't, a terrible thing. But yeah, definitely cotton. Like, if I was feeling very fancy, like bamboo, but probably never that. Yeah, for summertime, definitely needs to be cotton, some kind of um, wearable yarn. What kind of yarn do you tend to lean towards? Do you kind of use a little mix of everything? What's the haps there? But yeah, my friend who knits was like destashing some yarn and was like, "Hey, I've seen your stuff on Facebook. Do you mind if do you want some yarn for free?" And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, like, the answer to that is always yes, right? Like, there's no way that you can be like, "No, I don't want free yarn." Um, but it was interesting because she uses a lot of different types of yarn than I normally use. So like, I'm really, really excited. I was trying to look around for it. I don't think it's in here. So I'm excited to try some because she was like, "What do you mostly use?" And honestly, I was like, mostly I use acrylic just because it's cheap. But she put like a little bit of everything in there, and I'm but I need to get through these orders first. But it just reminded me that not everyone solely uses acrylic because it seems like that's like the easiest way to go. I mean, it's so much more affordable. But when you're trying to make something that's going to last a really long time, like acrylic can be good for that, but it can also pill or just, whatever. Um, and I just ordered a new hook, which we do what we can. Yeah, exactly. Um, but I feel like that's not full enough. Even though it's light piping, I feel like it's still like a little bit empty. Um, I yeah, I need to just get a bunch of. I have a bunch of like sugar and cream cotton, which is primarily what I make these out of. It's soft enough. I know it's not the softest cotton by any stretch of the imagination, but oh, I was gonna say I ordered a new hook, which I'm really excited about because this is a brand Furls. They don't really make many supplies in the knitting department. They do have yarn, a little bit of yarn, and they also have um, yarn bowls. But primarily, what they focus on, and absolutely everything that includes, and that includes acrylic yarn. Nice, yeah. Um, Yeah, I just wish I was faster at knitting. I think it's gorgeous. What you can do with it is amazing. I mean, what you can do with crochet is amazing too, right? They're both very cool. Um, but I'm so slow, and I wasn't getting any faster, and projects would just take me forever. I rarely finished a project that I started with acrylic, whereas I finished some projects that I started. I mean, with knitting, whereas I finished some with crochet at least, especially if I can get into a groove. But I make these packers a lot. I make different colors. I have different skin tones, which that was a battle to find a bunch of different skin tones because I just felt like I wasn't getting like the representation of colors that I wanted of skin tones. So finally, I've been able to incorporate more skin tones. Always on the search. If you know a place that has like a wide variety of affordable cotton, 4 weight uh, skin tones, they say everything I need to say, then I'm all ears. Right now, I'm ordering from I pretty much all my skin tones come from Hobie, and and uh, they have a great selection. It's their 8/8 cotton yarn, and they have such a great selection of skin tones because I think they're really geared towards like amigurumi if people want to do that, and it's nice to have different skin tones for that. So really happy about that. I wish they did like a skin tone pack, which would make it a lot easier, but whatever. Okay, so last stitch of the pink, we're gonna weave in the pink end, and we're gonna go back to blue. I'm so jealous. One thing that one thing that probably all around the reason that I said that I stopped knitting was because it was getting to the point where I wanted to start getting a little bit more ambitious with my projects, and the idea of using either double pointed needles or doing like what is it, the magic circle technique? Is it magic circle or magic ring? I don't remember. Confusing crochet and um, knitting now, but I was like I can't do this. Okay, this is gonna have a lot of barf. Okay, not that bad, actually. Was expecting worse. Okay, actually, I need to use this little scrap I have first, and then. But I have ADHD, so like, um, doing smaller projects is a lot easier for me. It's a lot easier to keep my attention, and um, crochet I found is more conducive for me and the way my brain works. I just could not figure out because I use a lot of circular needles. And so like my friend who knits now, she was like, she said she used like mini, like tiny, um, circular needles, which I was like, that's genius. Why didn't I think of that? But at the time I was just like, oh, I have these like, I just had 16-inch circular needles. I had a few straight needles, but pretty much everything was on a circular needle, and I just had 16 inches, um, which is like perfect for hats and stuff. But I think they were 16-inch cables. But anyways, um, either way, it was perfect for hats, and I just could not for the life of me figure out how to do it. Just was like you have three, and then they shift. But nope, it doesn't work with my brain. How long have you been knitting? I'm waiting for a couple color, well, really just one color, but three um, balls of the uh, some of the Pride yarn from the Big Twist Living anti-pilling acrylic yarn. I believe I have all the colors now except Ace, which is on the way. Um, I think there still is like a really good sale on that yarn. I just think they priced it pretty high, and it's just not really manageable because the schemes are so small. Because it's like $6.50 normally, but I paid $2.50 a ball. So now I have all the colors. I think except I don't think I got the rainbow because I have a rainbow variegated yarn that I like. I know for a fact it's not anti-pilling, but at that point, it's kind of it's whatever. It's so beautiful. So I use Mexicana by Red Heart Super Saver. It's the most gorgeous rainbow variegated. This is some of it, which looks really gorgeous. Landed it about 10 years ago. That's awesome. Yeah. Every once in a while, I'm like, I should try knitting again and see if I get better at it. Cause like in the past, like I've been crocheting for a while. And in the past year, I was like really focused on like challenging myself and trying to like make patterns and stuff like that. And it actually has helped me be like much better and faster crocheter. So I'm like, I wonder if I can kind of like hack my brain like that and get faster at knitting. Um, just because I was so dreadfully slow, and I was so ambitious on what I could make because I didn't really want to make like scarves and just like simple hats all the time. But you don't consider yourself an expert. Well, that's good. I mean, I think it's honestly better to like never consider yourself an expert, unless you like truly are, because like you always have stuff to learn. There's always stuff that you can do more. Like, I mean, I think that's probably a better way to go, but What do I know? So, yeah, but every once in a while, I'm like, I should go back to knitting and see if I can get faster. But I just don't ever really have like the drive to get there. And I want to take it more seriously and try to make a business out of it. That's so awesome. I love that for you. Yeah. And there's so many resources now about how to make small businesses and things out of, um, you know, what we uh, what we make. That like it's gonna be awesome. That's great. I'm so happy for you. That's very, very cool. Yeah. And like sometimes like, I don't like giving unsolicited advice if I can help it. But I just speak personally. One of the things that I found with my crochet business is I did a lot of different types of things. And then as soon as I introduced the packers, those were the ones selling. So like now pretty much nothing else sells and like the packers just sell themselves. So like you might find that you work a bunch of projects, they don't sell, and then like you make something and like all of a sudden it's flying off the shelves and you're like, wait, what? Like this was literally the easiest thing I've made. It's not even my pattern. Could be I wish the best for you in your knitting business. It's hard out there, but it's worth every bit of time. And especially like I'm disabled. I don't know about like your life, but I'm disabled. So like, I mean, I just need something to keep my hands and my mind busy, and the additional income is nice. Um, so I wish the best for you. That's awesome. And yeah, let us know what you make because obviously, because we're crochet heavy, anything that's knitted we probably can't make. So keep coming back. Do you have like kind of an idea of what kind of stuff you want to make, or is it just a little bit of everything? If you say a little bit of everything, I totally understand because that's me. I hate remaking the same project again and again, probably with the exclusion of these packers, because what keeps me going is like people reaching out to me and being like, "You made me so happy. I experienced like gender euphoria." Oh my gosh! So that keeps me going because sometimes I'm like, "Fuck this. I've done this pattern like 3 times today. I'm done." Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna measure this bad boy, and we'll see. Also, I have to. So I hope I don't divulge too much personal detail about my buyers, but the person who said that they would like to have their, I mentioned that my most recent order, they said, if they could have it before the 26th, that would be cool. And usually I do like a 2 week wait time on these, and I've been kind of slacking. Well, I've been sick. Okay, so I've been recovering from gallbladder surgery, and then during the gallbladder surgery, my lungs partially collapsed. So it was like hard for me to breathe. And I just was having like shortness of breath. Had to go back to the ER for that. And so I've been like feeling mostly under the weather. And then just with, normal mental health issues. So I kind of let my orders back up a little bit. Um, and then the most recent order, so they said that they are wheelchair bound, and they want to have this. And I was thinking, like, logistically about how this packer fit into the crotch area, right? And not like their particular crotch area. I'm not getting into that, but like, but I, I was just thinking, like, So at its like max width, it's about 4 inches wide, and then the scrotum is about 4 inches tall. Um, and so I was like, I feel like maybe something skinnier. Oh, gothic, cyberpunk, and queer. Oh my gosh, I got it. When you set up an Etsy or like whatever you set up, please share it out with us. Like, please, please, because I gotta see that. Because that is all about what I am into. Yeah, I love it. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm like going like, I do like gothic Halloween, which I think kind of like, they're too close, right? And then I do like queer stuff, I do trans stuff, and then I also do just like fucking weird stuff. um, that's so cool. That's I love everything you just said. Everything you just said is just like give me the ooh ah ah sensation. I love it. So that's so cool. You're gonna do great. um, but I was thinking like because like the thing about the scrotum is like that I make is that a lot of it is it takes into account kind of like the stride that people who can walk have, and so and just how it fits kind of in the nethers. So I was thinking if something was all on top, you probably maybe wouldn't want like all of that length or all of that width. So I talked to the person who ordered it, and I was like, I'll do my best to get it to you by that date. Like that's I'm not making any promises there. But what I will ask is like, would you like, do you want me to modify the size of the scrotum so that it can be a little bit easier to wear? And they were like, yeah, I think the width is really like, that would change would be good. So we're going to modify the pattern, which haven't thought through much. But I have quite a few packers to get through before I even get to that thought. I'm so guilty of getting ahead of myself and things like this. But like it's when people tell you details like that and like you can make them something that's like extra custom to fit their lives. And I like it makes me so happy because I never thought in a million years that like I would be like positively affecting people with my art, like it I don't know, it just was like something that felt good for me. And then once I started selling these, I got such positive responses. So, and I think that like, crocheting, or knitting, like different accessories. I love it. Identify as non-binary and also pan. So I love what you do. Yay! Yay! Queer and trans folks. I am a trans man, and I'm also trans pan man, trans man pan. So I got like the colors from Joanne, which I'm super excited about because there's so much, positive representation that like those colors really aren't available in those combinations. I know that there have been a lot of people who have been mad about like the color order and stuff like that, but like for me, as someone who has looked for queer variegated yarn all over the place, especially cotton, but like all over the place, like it's just not out there that much. Like it's just not, and especially not all in one line. So I think it's a great start. I mean, obviously, like we have improvement that we can make at all times, but I'm super excited to use it. Um, so what's your name, if you don't mind me asking? Hey, Crystal. Hey, Divergent Crafter. If you have a name you want me to call you by, otherwise I can just call you Cybergoth, and that would be, fine by me. But I am making orders, lots of packers and penises and stuff. Okay, so you know what? I should make a non-binary striped one. That would be that actually gives me an idea. So thank you. Because, like, I know a lot of people who pack who are non-binary, um, you know, not as many maybe as, like, people who are, like, specifically trans men, but, like, I mean, I think packing is for anyone who wants to do it. Yeah, I really love it. I love it. You're I felt that muscle. Thank you. I get all this beautiful yarn. I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this? And I was like, I can't be the only one, right? But maybe I am. I don't know. Okay, so let me check the measurements on this one. I think an NB1 would be freaking tastic. Okay, this is a little bit more than 5 inches. I'm gonna frog a row because the head adds some height. Although, because this is lightly packed, it won't add that much height. Okay, actually, I'm just gonna go with what this is. Yeah, I'm currently in development. I also sew a little bit. I haven't sewn in a while, so I gotta get that better. Um, but I also want to start doing tucking panties. I want to start doing so. I don't know if I go by MJ. Okay, cool. It's for knit at this point. Ooh, interesting. Well, we have a knitter in the building. MJ over here is a knitter, so maybe MJ can give us their opinion. Pronouns, if you want to share. Again, if you don't want to share, that's totally fine. But I just like to make sure I am making packers. I have so many packer orders, and more than half of them are this trans stripe pattern. So um, making packers. I know it's like half of what I do on this channel, but it's a passion project. Also, it's a money making project. But so, how have you been, Crystal? I've missed seeing your beautiful cyber face on here. I hope you're doing well. My neurodivergency is been getting in my way a lot lately, so I'm feeling my brain. Why not work normal? Ugh, it's tough. It's tough being neurodivergent, in so many ways. I mean, life is tough anyways. So I guess maybe I don't have anything to complain about. But waiting the arrival of snow. Do you like snow or do you not like snow? Because here in North Carolina, it barely ever snows. So when it does, it's like a Christmas miracle. In January, February. But then but we handle like the preparing of the roads really terribly here. So it always turns to like a huge sheet of ice and everything shuts down and then the power goes out and we're all like, fuck. Because I forget where you are. Are you in Tennessee? Is that correct? Am I remembering that correctly? It's so funny. So Also, MJ, I did ask if you wanted to share your pronouns. If you don't, that's fine. I just want to make sure that I didn't get lost in sauce. Um, but let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I'm trying to. I I'm trying to get two different therapists right now. Um, Yes, Tennessee. Okay, buying milk. Exactly. Milk, bread, and eggs. What the fuck? If the power goes out, your milk's gonna go bad. Your eggs are gonna go bad. Yeah. Don't know. You gotta love that milky bread. Um, I want to get two therapists because I'm ending this IOP thing that I'm in, and so I will be losing my therapist at the end of that. And so, because she doesn't have a private practice, and um, so I wanted to find two therapists, one regular therapist for like my bipolar and borderline and all that stuff. And then I was like, I also need a therapist that just focuses on ADHD tricks on like functioning, because like my brain doesn't want to function anymore. It's done. It's gone. It's gone. It's my memory is garbage. I I just I need some assistance there, and so I want to find a therapist that focus specifically on like neurodivergency, and so literally I've been trying to like get a hold. So I called this place, and they set up they had set up a consultation. So I'll tell you as I remember it, and then apparently what happened. So they were like, "Oh, you had a consultation with this person today," which I was going to cancel anyway because I had just had um, coaches you can seek out online. My old trainer uses one. Okay, they them. Okay, awesome, perfect. I was going to use it as a default because I think it kind of works for everybody, but I always like to ask. Um, but uh, but yeah, so I was going to use someone who could kind of help me like hack my life into being more like neurodivergent friendly. And so how I remember it is like I got a call right after my surgery that I was going to have an appointment. I had an appointment like this day, which I knew I had an appointment this day, but they had said I needed to do a consultation with the therapist to see if I was a good fit. 15-minute free consultation. And I thought I had my consultation that day, and they had all this paperwork. Literally, like, I'm not joking, probably in the realm of like 20 to 25 pages of paperwork, all different things. Patient history, which my patient history is bananas, and I gave them like the short and easy stuff, and I gave them my insurance, and I was like, hey, can I just spend a session like doing this paperwork with this coach? Like, I was like, this is sending me into like extreme overwhelm. I cannot do this. And they're like, no, you can't. You have to do it all and stuff like that. Also, I was like, I told them, I was like, Ian is not my legal name. So like when you're processing my insurance, having yeah, I think that's always a safe way to go. You know, it's like, you know, that's an awesome thing to do. I like I I do it if I'm not sure. But I think I should extend it to everyone, because just because someone presents a certain way doesn't mean, jack shit about their, gender identity. Um, but I'm not great at it, but I struggled. I struggled to use basic English. But yeah, that's a great habit to get into. Just use they. Um, so I got to change my yarn right here at the little tip. Um, so yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So like, okay. So here's my retelling of what I think happened. Right. So so the scheduler person was like, you have to fill out all the paperwork. I work with a lot of men. Okay. Yeah. Um, so yeah. So their pronouns. Um, so so the so the actual therapist called me and was like, hey, like, you haven't scheduled anything, and I understand there was some issues with like the paperwork and stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure you're interested. He was like, we had our consultation back, and he started the call with, we had a lot of we had our consultation back in December. And I was like, no, we didn't. And he was like, yes, we did. I was like, I don't remember any of this. That's so funny to me because I'm literally going through the memory shit, and I don't remember talking to him. Um, but um, but he was like, "Yes, we did," and then so he started like bringing up details, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds familiar. Oh, that sounds familiar." But like I'd sworn up and down that the scheduler told me I couldn't even do the consultation because I hadn't done the paperwork. But then like yeah, so I was just really just cementing in the fact that I need this therapist. I was like, yes, and I was like, it was like he told me that like I was like I can't do that amount of paperwork. I was like I just can't. I like my brain doesn't work like that anymore. And and I was like also like I told this person I told them my I told them my legal name, which and they still tried to bill my insurance under my chosen name, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's like it's weird because like right now I'm at the point of my transition where pretty much every like medical care or like person I start interacting with from like now on, or like new person I start to interact with, they only know me as Ian. So they didn't see the transition, so I have to explain the whole like sometimes people the elevator doesn't reach the top. Yes. um and I love I love that that phrase. I really love it. It makes me very happy. But yeah, so I was like, so we're gonna continue on with this process, but I was just like, I mean, it's possible that they just don't deal with that many trans folks, like, or people who have different names that are than are, you know, legally listed. And I am gonna change my name soon. Now, it does cost money to change your name unless you just got married, which I did not just get married. Um, which, had I known at the time, I would have just gone ahead and changed my name because you get like a freebie when you get married. And so I'm gonna change my name. Hopefully, once my disability gets approved. Well, this feels nice. I'm really proud of the packing though. Um, so yeah, it's not cheap, and then also you have to do all of this, like, crazy stuff. Like, I mean, I think it's crazy personally, but, like, maybe it's not that crazy. Like, if I recall, like, I've gotta go get fingerprinted at my local, like, sheriff's office. They have to do a full background check on me, like, all of this stuff, and I'm like, I I understand, like, I guess, like, if someone was, like, had, like, a criminal history, but, like, it doesn't feel very comfortable, and, like, it makes me really nervous because it's a really, really, like, extensive process, and it's like, well, what if one day Ian doesn't fit anymore? I've only been through like, this is only my second name change, and I've been with Ian for a while, and I like it a lot. So like, I don't think I'm gonna change it, but I don't know for a fact. And so it just makes me nervous that there's there's that. But honestly, but like also in the state of North Carolina, I'm not sure about the rules of changing your gender marker on your license because I've been looking so much into names. And then I also don't know if that translates to like what you have to do to. I don't even know if in North Carolina you can change your birth certificate. But I care less about changing my birth certificate. So I understand. Yeah, it's people are always like, why do you change your name? Like when I changed my name from Ezra, which was my first one, to Ian, I don't have a problem saying Ezra because it's never my name. Like, that's how I view it. It was never my name. But like when I changed my name, people were mad at me. They were mad at me, and I was like, they're like, why didn't you just pick something that fit better? And I was like, having to pick your own name is something that so few people have to do. Like, no, a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to pick a name that will now fit your personality from here on out. Like, it's hard to name a baby. I saw the process of my parents trying to pick names for my little sister. I saw them. I've seen friends, have difficulty picking names for, their kids. I understand that that is not an easy process because you're like, well, what if they turn out like this? What if they turn out like this? But then to add to like that, like now you're older, people will be referring to you um, as this. So yeah, people were like mad at me for changing my name. And I was like, this is like. The more I thought about it, I was like, you've never had to do this. Like, you've never had to worry about this. Like, I just don't think you can understand this moment, and that's okay. But just like take it as an opportunity to learn. Yeah, and like my dad, uh, Mor- Morningstar's really cute. Billy's really cute too. I like that. But yeah, we're all finding our way. Um, yeah, I need to switch to doing yarn unders because I like the way that looks at the tip when I do my decreases. But I'm also kind of like, what am I doing? Um, so yeah, I just was like, you've never had to pick your name. Don't tell me it's. Oh, I was saying. So my dad, before I transitioned, got has he's got two full sleeves, uh, and he got my two sisters' names, my dead name, and my mom's name on him. And I, uh, I commented, let's see, like jokingly, maybe like 8 months ago. So like probably 2 full years into like two, maybe a year and a half into having the name Ian. And I was like, hey, it's like just joking around, like, hey, are you going to change that to Ian? And he was like, are you going to stop changing your name? I was like, fucking dead. My parents try. To a certain demographic. Wasn't a kid. Yeah. Good way to name themselves a little hellraiser. Yeah, I wonder where they get that from, Crystal. I feel like that sounds like a superhero name. I like. I don't. It might actually be, but I don't know. But I just feel like it was a morning star. I don't know. But yeah, my dad, like, people can be ruthless sometimes. So yeah, so I just finished the top. I'm going to weave in my ends. Oh, it's Lucifer's name in the Bible. Oh, did not know that. I'm not studied up, if you can believe it. Wow, yeah. That sounds actually pretty punk rock. But yeah, but if the name doesn't fit, keep moving. Plenty of names out there. Try them on, just like shoes or something, you know. And also, like, it's weird, like, with your brain. For some people, I think like the name might be easier. I don't know, but like for me, the name was hard because I I would still call for the longest time, I would still call myself my dead name in my head. So if I was referring to myself in third person when I was talking for like a long time, I would be like, stop, change name, then talk. And now it's like it's so much easier to just be like, yeah, and Ian had to do this, blah blah blah. But for the longest time, I would like dead name myself in my head. Like other people were better at it than I better at calling me by my name than I was. Um, but it's weird, just changing how your brain, works and stuff like that. But, okay, here's a bean. Now we have to do some detail work. Really only two things. We need to sew the head detail, and then we need to put um, a little, you know what I'm saying, right? Um, you need to put a little tab there, and that helps it keep a nice uh, balance and just position in the underwear. Now I want to name myself Morningstar. I don't quite think I'm a Morningstar, but I think that's pretty rad. Call them their dead name with a... Okay, yeah. Yeah. My dead name started with an I as well. And so when I went to Ian, I think it was like, I don't know, I just got really comfortable having a name that started with an I. So when I found a name that started with an I that I really liked, um, uh, I uh, I just ran with it. Also, so like, so people are always like, "What do you name yourself after?" And it pretty much exclusively sounds dumb. Like, unless you pick like a family name or something like that, people are like, "That name's dumb," but like, or like your reason for picking that name is dumb. And so like, when people ask me why I picked Ian, it's because literally I love the show Shameless, and I love the character Ian Gallagher, and I love names that start with I. So it just kind of all fit. He's queer. He like, you know, he he's bipolar. Like all these things just like felt like it was kind of like, oh yeah, this is like a really easy way to like, make a name like feel like it fits me, because I feel like I like can like identify a lot with like the character. And so that's why I picked that name. And when I tell people that I've told family members that I picked my name off of a TV show, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, I mean, how did you pick your name? Oh, you didn't. Okay. But like, it also sucks because I had a family name before, and so it seems like I like, quote unquote, trash the family name. Named a dog Frank. That is awesome. That is really cool. Um, yeah, my pets are all named after Star Trek characters, so I can't even pretend that I'm much better. Um, but uh, that's a really fun name. I love that. Um, let's see. Uh, let's see. But like, yeah. So I went from having a family name to having, and like, it was my grandmother's name, and she had passed like 5 years before I was born. So like, it was like really like an honor to be called that name, but and like it meant a lot to like people in my family. But at the end of the day, I'm not naming myself for other people. I'm naming myself for me and what feels right to be called. And everyone's just had to kind of get used to it. I wasn't gonna be guilt tripped into thinking that I did something wrong by changing my name for whatever reason. And my family does love to guilt trip. I love them, but the I I personally didn't grow up Catholic, so I don't know how valid this stereotype is. But I had never experienced Catholic guilt until I changed my name. And then it was laid on thick. I was like, oh my gosh. Because about half of my dad's side of the family is practicing Catholic. So yeah, they really laid it on thick, but it is what it is. I love that Frank. I don't know. I'm like, should I rename? Should my pets get their names changed? Although it fits them so well. So my cat is named JL. Well, his full name is Jean Luc. Because I thought grieve my child. I struggled with that some as a parent because I had to grieve the child I thought I had. If that makes no, I think that totally makes sense. I really do think that makes sense because I think that especially like that first moment of like someone telling you that they identify as not their assigned gender at birth. um you it's just a really challenging thing. I haven't been in that position myself, but I did see it in my parents, and I know that they're trying and continue to try, but there were also times where like they could have handled it better, still can handle it better. But I just have to understand that like you know they when they look back on the memories, they see, for me it seems like they still see a girl, and that's not who I am. And it's like there's something weird that they said when I came out. So like before I came out, um I identified as a lesbian. And they're like, my dad said, well, when you came out as a lesbian, that didn't surprise us, but this surprises us. And I'm like, I don't know. I think that gender stereotypes often get in the way of stuff like that too, because like I'm a pretty femme person, but still identify as a man. And so I think that they have trouble with like gender identity and gender expression, and like why like sometimes they'll wear makeup and they'll be like, but that's what girls do. And I'm like, why? Like, why does it have to be something that only girls do? So, anyways, I've seen my parents struggle with it, and it sounds like you're a lot further along than my parents. So just you know, be gentle with yourself too, because everyone is just doing their best, right? Like we're all just trying our best, unless you're actively being an a-hole, which you're not. So, hey Zach, welcome in. Um, so I what I know about you is that you are a very compassionate, very loving, very caring person, and you are doing your best. And like everyone makes mistakes. Everyone accidentally says a dead name here or there, or like misgenders someone. It happens. That's my attitude towards it. Like it happens. So if you're trying, that means the world to me. Oh, wow, the weather's that bad. I saw that it got canceled the other day, or maybe yesterday. I don't know. The days are just moving together at this point. Well, that's cool. I mean, money is nice, but I mean, not having to work is also nice. So it's a little bit of both, probably. I bet. Okay, so I'm just weaving in my ends here. Trying to cut it a little short so it's a little weird. We have 2 to 3 feet of snow. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that's ever happened in my state. The one thing I did regret is I asked them to wait at coming out of school because it was my attempt to protect them from the pickets and not embarrass. Yeah, you know, um, that's a really hard thing, right? It's a really hard thing. I'm just gonna say that you did your best and you were looking out for your child. And, I've been told similar things, and there are a lot of feelings that can accompany a comment like that. And I think, when you break it down to what it is, I think it's someone who is looking out for your best interest and wants you to be safe and, healthy and happy, and like truly, like, how can you be mad at someone who is trying to have your best interest at heart? But then, I also think that coming out is something that, you know, I don't know if a lot of people think about it this way, but I definitely have. It really hurt them, and I own the fact it was the best you could do at the time, and I think, we're all just learning, right? So, so the thing about coming out and how I view it is that once you initially come out, you're constantly coming out for like the rest of your life. And maybe that's not the case for all people, especially if people are passing or they're in a relationship that like looks hetero or like whatever. I don't know. Like I feel like people are constantly having to come out and like tell people they're gay or pan or trans or non-binary. Like you're constantly having to tell people, especially when you're in the trans community, because like your name and your preferred pronouns might not match the way you look. And so Mr. Packer. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Sorry. um, I, but let me see. What was I saying? But you're constantly having to come out. So, like, if things don't go right the first time, well, you still have plenty of times in your life to come out. And it's always awkward. It's always like, I don't know how this person will react. And it's when we come out to the, like, I remember when I came out to my cousin as a lesbian, and he was like, just don't tell anyone in my family. Because, like, his family, like, had, you know, quite a few bigot leaning people. And then also his sister was like she just thought I was like the cool older cousin, and so like she apparently like did a lot of stuff that I did, and he was like thinking that she was gonna like become a lesbian because that's how I identified. And I was like, oh, it doesn't really work like that, but like, okay, but like people have said similar things to me, and they're like, don't tell people, don't come out, don't whatever. And at the end of the day, I'd just be like, you know what, like, people are just trying to kind of fit this new identity that they know you as, like, into their view of you. And or they're trying to protect you, like you said, um, because it's catching. Yeah, it's very contagious. Oh my gosh, whenever I hear like transness is the social contagion, I'm like, literally, fucking any trans person, anyone under the trans umbrella, will be like, like, no one's gonna be like, go become trans. It's so easy. It's so fun. Like, being yourself and feeling gender euphoria, amazing. Amazing. But if you don't have gender dysphoria, then hey mobs, welcome in. Um, but like, it's like no one is like thinking that like it's so easy to be with with, you know, be in any of the LGBTQ, like any of that, the community. I'm just like, it's not fun, it's not easy. Like, why the fuck would someone pick that? Zach, I think your phone got away from you. But yeah, so I have this packer, so I'm very happy that I have at least one more done. I was cleaning the keyboard. um okay, let's see. Let me see what my next order is. Oh, I just got another order. Oh my gosh, a cardigan. Okay, rainbow and transgender. Okay, cool. That's pretty awesome. My first cardigan. Oh, this is gonna take a long time. I need to deal with the bigotry. Exactly. But like, they can't turn that in on themselves and just know that experience. It's like you can hear someone explain what being the target of a bigoted comment would feel like, but until they're in that position, like, they just don't know. And you can have as much um, sympathy and empathy as you can muster, but you still have to realize that it's just not something that you absolutely know. So, dog let him change the channel. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Sorry, I had a moment. Okay. I'm sorry, I am a stupid idiot. Oh my gosh. So, speaking of, this isn't a stupid idiot moment, it's a like very weird moment. So I posted a couple listings on Facebook Marketplace, and one of them was the willy warmers. Now, I guess maybe in hindsight that wasn't like the best place to market it, but like whatever. I was like, these sell sometimes, so um I of course I was not doing the Macarena. I was doing a bad attempt at voguing. um so yeah, so okay, so I put the willy warmer on Facebook Marketplace, right? And so I put a brief description. You don't get a lot of space to I mean, getting to see, knowing the statistics aspect just enraged me. Yeah, exactly. But I feel like, I mean, people are gonna dead name them regardless. I hate to say that. It just happened. When I went to the hospital for my surgery, literally every person misgendered me and dead named me. And they had like a piece of paper in front of them that told them that I was a trans man, that I used he, him pronouns, and that my name was Ian. And literally not one person, even when I corrected them, said the right thing. And I was in so much pain that like I couldn't really do anything about it. And I was just like, ugh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, so I put the Willy warmers on Facebook Marketplace. And then I got a message about it from someone who was curious and said, "Hey, like, what is this thing's function?" And I was like, "Hello, like, some people buy them as gag gifts, and some people they started calling them teacher strong names. That's awesome. See, just feisty. I love that. I love that. That makes me so happy. Yeah. Yeah. So, they're like, so I said, and I was like, some people just like them to warm their willy, and, like, because they find it comfortable. And, and the person asked, are they used? And I was like, well, that's an interestingly weird question, because in the title it says it's handmade crochet. But okay, let me ask. Let me just respond. And I was like, no, they're handmade to order, and not used by anyone else. And they responded, too bad. I was like, I'm not sure if I got like a troll, or like this is just like a really strange person. But that's what happened last night. Like, no, I'm not gonna sell you a used like thing that goes on someone's genitalia. Mel was like, you can't. Yeah, Mel was like, you can wear it. I was like, I don't have that equipment. I can't. And even if I did, that gives me the ick. But like, I'm not in the business of like selling used for to wear it and sell it for a premium price. I mean, like, there's a market for stuff like that, but like, I can't, I literally cannot wear it. Like, I don't even know what I would put it on. Like, maybe we could just say it's worn. I don't know. People are crazy. Sexy potato. Okay, so this next order, um, oh, I need to order trans stickers. Let me do that while I'm on live. So I like to put uh, little stickers with my packers, just because I feel like it's just like a little cute thing. And again, it just like, I don't know, I just like doing little cute stuff that makes people happy. When you're first starting your business, it's really, challenging to to uh, do like little extra things, but I really like being able to do that. Okay. See more butts. I'm a weirdo. That's right. Yeah, I know there's other reasons too. Yes, there are other reasons, but weirdos are welcome here. I'm very happy with my weirdo family, and they make me very, very happy. Okay, where are the trans stickers I like? Now I can just search them, but I want to. Okay, well, trans stickers. Yeah, it's just like a little thing that I like to add. Other people like to add like little candies or stuff like that. For me, I just like to. I get like bulk bulk stickers, and then I put like two in. I don't know. Can you see that? My phone brightness might be too high, but like they're just little stickers. Oh, that's awesome. Also, there's rainbow ones that are really cute. What if I put like uh add to cart? Let me see what the rainbow one's like. Cause that'd be fun. Okay, so that's less pieces, but it's one sticker says I support gay rat weddings. I don't know, some of these are weird. I don't know, I think I'm gonna stick to the trans ones for now, but that is funny. Okay, so I'm just gonna order the trans stickers right now, so that they will be here in time for me to ship things. I might do an import. Let's see. I might do like uh, why does this not have my fucking? Okay. Has my dead name on it. Sorry that I'm doing this right now, but I meant to do it the other day and I forgot. I realized I was low on stickers. 94270. Okay, so but yeah, I I've been wanting to do like I don't know. I tried merch for a little while. It wasn't great, but like I'm not really good at graphic design, so um, and I just have such a small like group of people here that like, and not to call anyone out, but like I don't think any of us are like rolling in the money right now. So uh, so okay. I can get it on Wednesday. Place your order. Okay. Oh, there's some really cute sticker bundles, but I don't need it, so. But yeah, I like to put little stickers in there for the ones that I'm gonna send out before the stickers get here. I might like do like a little handmade item, uh, just like a little, I don't know, something. They might. I especially with like shipping and Temu, I think that just like because of the I think I've looked on Temu before. I think the pricing. Oh wait, you're asking about like flags. Okay. They might, honestly. That would be awesome. Should definitely check that out. Um, but I'm gonna go because I need coffee. It's 10 a.m. and I haven't had any coffee. So I'm gonna let you all go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, making Packers. It might be on later today, might not be, depends on whatever. And then I guess we'll just kind of go into the week, and hopefully I can be live a little bit more because I know I've been slacking on that. But yeah, I've put a couple videos up, pre-recorded videos up. So if you want to check those out, especially like the ones if you like the series about the how do I use self-striping yarn, um, how do I use variegated yarn. If you could, if you want to watch those and give me some suggestions, I really appreciate that because I have all this yarn I want to use and I don't know how to use it. So, anyways, I love you all. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you later.